So using what we know about their locations and their congruency or their being supplement to each other, we're going to look at our two parallel lines cut by a transversal. We have 110 and a question mark, so that's what we're solving for. Those are alternating, and they're on the outside. So we know these are alternate exterior. And we know alternate exterior are congruent, so our answer should be 110 degrees. Because this angle is 110 degrees, we know that angle is 110 degrees based off alternate exterior angle theorems. So that rule. Looking at number 12. So again, we are looking at the two parallel lines cut by a transversal, and we want to compare these two angles. So they alternate. So we know it's alternate. And they're on the inside of the two parallel lines, so interior. And again, those are congruent because ideally these would be vertical to the other, to this guy would be 84 and this guy would be 84. So if we cut it and picked it up, that would match that, which then would match that. Or alternate interior angles are just congruent, if you can memorize that. So because this is 84, our answer to this guy is again 84 degrees by alternate interior angles. Looking at number 13, we're interior. We're on the same side of the transversal. So this is same side or consecutive interior. Again, same side interior and consecutive interior are the same thing. And these guys are not congruent. These are supplementary, remember? And supplementary means the sum is equal to 180. So we have 100 plus something equals 180. Or you've used 100 of 180, so we subtract 100 from each side. So x is going to equal 80 degrees because same side consecutive interior angles are supplementary because that 100 is also here for corresponding angles, and then this could be a linear pair. So what makes that a straight line? If we know that corresponding angles are both equal, so this would be 100, then that has to be 80. So you could work it a couple different ways, but most straightforward would be same side consecutive interior, and those are supplementary. So looking at our next set, on either side of the transversal, so we know it's an alternate because it's alternating all on that transversal, and they are on the inside, so alternate interior angles. And that means those are congruent. So because this is 111 degrees, this is also 111 degrees. So our answer for this one is 111 degrees again. Look at number 15. So along the transversal, we have an angle here and along here. So that means it is alternating along the transversal. And they are on the inside. So that's alternate interior again. And alternate interior again are congruent. So we know those are congruent, which means since this is 125, then we know this is 125. All right, look at number 16. Our angles are alternating along that transversal because this is on the right side, this is on the left side. So we know it's alternate exterior because they're on the outside of the two parallel lines. So sitting on the outside, and I'll highlight that one more time just to make sure we know what I mean. So these are our parallel lines, and it's happening outside, not in between those two lines. And so we know those are congruent again. So because this is 47, that's 47. All right, number 17. We're on the same side of our transversal, but one's on the inside and one's on the outside. So we know that means they are corresponding. That's when we were to cut this bad boy in half, this angle would fall on top of this angle, which means we know it's congruent. So that means because this is 53 degrees, we know this is 53 degrees. Number 18. Alternating along that transversal, so alternate, because it's on either side of the transversal. Interior, because it's inside those two parallel lines, which we do know means that they're both congruent to each other. So because that is 113, this is 113 degrees. Now, you will not always get them, like they won't be asking for the angle that is the most obvious. So if my x had been here and not a question mark here, you would still use this same rule. And so we know this is 113 degrees, and we know this is a linear pair. So 180 minus 113 is going to give us 67. So then we know this is 67. So you could honestly, with one angle measure given, you could do the whole set of 8. So knowing this is 47, and you could do it lots of different ways. Knowing this is 47, you know that this is 47 by vertical angles. So if we did 180 minus 47, so 180 minus 47, sorry, look at my calculator so I don't mess this up. It's going to be 133. Yep, 133. So because that's 47, we know this is 133 because the two of them have to equal 180. And then you could say vertical angles are 133. So that's just using vertical angles in linear pairs. But to get to the second set, you have to use your rules. And in this case, now that we have all four of these, you don't have to use alternate exterior because realistically, consecutive, in my opinion, makes the most sense. Because if I pick this up and sit it on the top, I know this is going to be 47 degrees due to this 47. This is going to be 133 degrees due to this 133. This is going to be 47 at this point because this is a linear pair. And this is 133 as well. Maybe because this is a linear pair, or because the top set's a linear pair, or again, because you know these match up because they're corresponding angles. So it may not be so straightforward, but you will use those rules to find those missing angles. All right, great job, guys. I hope you got it all down.